Whoa. Whoa. Absolutely whoa. It happened, man. And no, not talking about The Rock. No, he didn't show up last night. I didn't think that he was anyway. I hope you did. But, wow. Man, it happened. They not only just beat the brakes off of Paul Heyman, but literally destroyed him. Paul Heyman got destroyed by Solo Sikoa and the Bloodline. We got that to talk about and a lot more. But first, let's start off with it correct. This is Crown Wrestling, the spot that brings fight news leg drops. Man, I'm telling you, we have an amazing show for you today. We are talking about what happened on Friday Night SmackDown last night as Solo Sikoa took his seat as the new tribal chief and what they did to Paul Heyman. Crown Wrestling. Subscribe. Oh man, this is crazy. My TikTok right now, the Crown Wrestling TikTok, Crown Wrestling News, it is blowing up. People are going berserk. Everybody is like, this should not have happened to Paul Heyman. They shouldn't have done this. They shouldn't have destroyed him in the way that they did. But it's happening, man. It's happening in real time. Oh man, we want to get into that. But this is crazy. So, as we know, that the Bloodlines was going to have an acknowledge me ceremony. But earlier in the day, they were coming out. Cody Rhodes, KO, and Randy Orton jumped them. They whooped the Bloodline on that part, man. I give that to them. They beat the Bloodline. The general manager came out there and tried to bring security for those guys. And they just mopped the floor with all of them easily. Then the police came and that was a wrap on that. That's what happened. You guys need to go back and watch the whole show because here at Crown Wrestling, and that's not diminishing any of the other talents, which I love all of them. I mean, all of them. But as far as last night's show, the highlight was what happened in this Bloodline. So here at Crown Wrestling, we like carrots, we like broccoli, asparagus, but we like to bring the meat, the potatoes, the gravy. And last night, that Bloodline situation was just that. So we really want to talk on that, but you could go back and check out the whole show. There was quite a few nice highlights, I will say, that was on SmackDown. You may want to go and check it out somewhere online. You could probably find it, I'm sure, and enjoy it. But we want to talk about what happened at the end. So the Bloodline, they come back out. Let's rewind a little bit, because Paul Heyman, he had an issue with what Jacob Fatu did last week on SmackDown when he came up in there and destroyed Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton. He beat up all of them on his first day. That dude cold, man. He just beat up all of them. Jacob Fatu, man. Ain't can't nobody beat him. Stop playing, bruh. You can't beat Jacob Fatu, man. This dude is cold. So he just came up in there and he just mopped the floor with all those guys. So Paul Heyman, he didn't like that. I remember episode some time ago, he was telling Sikoa, this is after Roman, he lost the titles to Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. He was telling Solo, he said, listen, you are bringing folks inside of this Bloodline that Roman really pushed off. He said these guys, man, are some knuckleheads, so he didn't want them to be inside of the Bloodline, you know, which is a funny story to me. because considering the bloodline how they are, they was wild anyway. But he told him that, he said, hey, you bringing folks in that Roman did not clear. So he asked him, he said, Jacob Fatu came last week and did what he did. So I don't see him. I haven't seen him all day. Is he here? And Solo specifically told him, he said, no. He said, Jacob is not here. You don't have nothing to worry about, Paul. After that, they later on had the ceremony in the ring, and it was supposed to be to crown, no pun intended, the next tribal chief. Bloodline comes out, Paul Heyman comes out, and then Paul was getting ready to say something on the mic, and Solo stops him, puts his hand out there, you know, kind of like what Roman used to do when he want his microphone so he can speak. Took that microphone and he said, let's send out Jacob Fatu. Paul Heyman was very shocked about this because Solo said, hey, he's not here. Jacob Fatu came out there and the ceremony begins. So Solo, he says, Tamatonga, step up, acknowledge me. Tamatonga comes up there, step up, acknowledge him. He says, Tongaloa, step up, acknowledge me. Yeah, man. I want to say this before I get into that. Solo is doing an amazing job, a triple amazing job on how he's running this bloodline, especially after losing the two big wigs like Roman Reigns and especially The Rock, who wasn't there for no time. But when he was in the bloodline, he took over. And him and Roman just worked together good, period. But nobody's touching the mic skills of The Rock. Absolutely not. But Solo, man, he's doing it. He brings a different vibe to the bloodline. It feels more like, I'm from Chicago, so I know how to look with all these thugs and stuff. I mean, he really looks like that. So he's playing his parts, his character good. So he's creating a great story behind it. So I give him props because he feel like one of those guys for real. Then he says, Jacob Fatu, step up, acknowledge me. Jacob Fatu gets up in there, steps up, and acknowledge Solo Sikoa as his tribal chief. All these guys acknowledge him as a tribal chief. Now, we get to the next part. So he walks over to Paul Heyman and he says, this is your chance. And he takes out Roman Reigns Ulafala. If I'm pronouncing it right. He takes out Roman Reigns Ulafala, and Paul Heyman looks at it in surprise, like, where do you get this? How do you get the tribal chiefs Ulafala? And he gives it to Paul Heyman. He tells him, he said, this is what I need from you. I need you to acknowledge me, dude. So Paul Heyman, he looks at it, the Ulafala, takes the mic, and he said, I acknowledge that you are not my tribal chief. Oh boy, why did he say that? Come on, Paul, man, you slipping, bro. He stayed true to Roman. I will say that. Props on that. He stayed true to Roman, but wrong words with the wrong group in front of you. So he said, I acknowledge that you are not my tribal chief, and boom, the flood came in. They just annihilated Paul Heyman, picked him up on the announce table, boom, just threw him through there, man, and you almost felt bad for Paul Heyman, which is something that you never really do because he's always a crook. They threw him through there, man, and boom, that was it. They laid him out, laid him flat, and they came and they took the Ula Fala, put it on Solo Sikoa's neck, and he looked like he had risen to a place of authority. Whenever Thanos put in that next stone, looked like he powered up, like he felt energy. Certain look of pride and arrogance came into him. This the way Solo did it, and that's the way he felt, but he did it well, man. It was just, they really, really put that episode together. And Paul Heyman is destroyed, got the brakes beat off of him, man. So that's just the way it goes, man. So we have to see what happens. Solo Sikoa is your new tribal chief. Deal with it, like it or not. That's the seat. He's at the head of the table right now. So from this point, this is my expectation. This is what I will want to see, because here at Crown Wrestling, we talk about our expectations and things that we want to see, matches that we desire to see. I'm thinking about creating a playlist for that very soon. You know, our expectations, the desires of what we really want to see in the WWE. Matches, storylines, so forth and so on. So what I want to see is, I would like to see Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, Tongaloa come together with this faction of the Bloodline. But what I want to see, and man, I would really love to see this. I would love to see them take on Roman Reigns and the Usos, Jay and Jimmy Uso. Now they're gonna need a fourth member, and you know who that's gonna be. It gotta be The Rock. It gotta be The Rock. If I could see that match, oh man, my day is made. If I can see that match, my day is made. So I would really love to see that. That's an expectation. That is hopes. You know, that's goals right there, man. I really want to see that. I want to see this current bloodline take on the old bloodline. But I want to know what you think on that. Let me know if you would really like to see that. I guess that really comes without question. I think all of y'all really want to see that, right? Yeah. I think all of you really want to see that. But that's what I want to see. I want to see that current bloodline, the current tribal chief, the counterfeit tribal chief take on the real tribal chief, Roman Reigns and Jimmy, Jey Uso, and The Rock. The Rock. I really want to see that. So that should be something is going to be amazing. But yeah, we had an incredible show, Friday Night SmackDown last night, and I enjoyed it. So you guys can probably go somewhere online and just look at everything that happened. Now, let's stop the music right here, because this is something that's very serious to me. A couple of videos ago, I posted my actually, it was my first UFC post. Yeah. UFC 303. That's literally coming on tonight. And I talked about it, the main event, in the undercard. And I never post anything UFC. But that's what we do here. So that was plans that I had anyway, to post wrestling, MMA, fight sports, you know. So that's what I really wanted to post. And a couple of videos ago, the other day, I will say, that was my actual first UFC post. The main event was going to be Alex Pereira and versus Yuri for the main event. I'm gonna have to let you guys know where I may post the undercard. I may do a video for the undercard, not the prelims, but like the final fights. But I'm not posting that main event. A lot of y'all shocked. There's a zillion more UFC fights to post. There's a lot of UFC fights for me to post that's coming up, and we're gonna report that here at Crown Wrestling. But as far as the main event of UFC 303, I'm not gonna post that. And I'm not gonna tell you why right now. But coming soon, I got a video to let you know why I am not posting that. So we're going to leave it at that. I'm not going to post that main event. Like I say, I might post it on the card. Possibly. We'll see. Now, if it's really good, I think I'm going to post it. But I'm not going to post the main event of UFC 303. That's that. And I'm going to explain in depth why I'm not going to post that specific match. So, having said that, we did have a great show today. And we had a great show with WWE last night, Friday Night SmackDown. We're going to close it out on that note. And as Adam Pearce say, love somebody today. And I'm not looking mean when I say that. He looked like a demon on that picture. He said, love somebody today. So no, but hey, love somebody today and show the love of Christ to them. And just, be kind to folks, man. It pays off. It really pays off. So like, share, subscribe to Crown Wrestling. Send in your messages. I would really love to hear from you guys. And you can message me if you like at crownwrestling052@gmail.com. Stop by my WWE shop right inside of the description box. Get all of your great gear. Crown Wrestling. Crown Wrestling. Subscribe.